In this video, we will see how we can write a structure variable's value to a file using the fwrite function, and then we will see how we can read a structure variable's value from the file using the fread function. Now here, in order to explain this, I have created a simple structure called as student, which contains three members: ID, which is of type integer, name is an array of characters, and then marks is of type float. And then I have created the structure variable called as s1, and here I have stored these values in this variable. And then I have created another variable called as s2, and I have initialized its member to the default values depending on their type. What I mean by that is int id will contain 0, name will be an empty string, and then for marks it will contain 0.0. And then we will write the data to the file, and then we will read from the file. And then here what we're doing is we are displaying the values of these structure variables. Now if I save this program and if I run this, then we can see s1 and the values that I have mentioned. And for the s2, the name is an empty string, id is containing 0, and marks is containing 0.0. Now depending on the member type, they are initialized with the default values. So now what we want to do is we want to write this structure variable s1, its value, to the file using the fwrite function. So here what we do is we will open up the file. Let us say data.bin. We will open it up for writing, and we will open it up as a binary file. And then if the file is not opened, then we will terminate the program. And after that, what we do is we will use the fwrite function. So it will be fwrite. And here, first I have to specify the data that I want to write here, where exactly it is present in the memory. The value that we want to write is present in this variable s1. So we have to provide the address of the s1 variable. We have to specify where exactly it is present in memory. So we will get the address of s1. And then after that, we have to specify the number of bytes that we want to write. For that, what we do is we will use the size of, and we will get the size of this structure. And after that, we have to specify how many elements that we want to write. In this case, I want to write only one element, so I will specify 1. And then we have to specify the file pointer, and it will be fp. So a simple program, just like the way we have written in the previous tutorials. So now if I save this program and if I run this, nothing special happens in the output, but here a file is created called as data.bin, and it will contain the data. So here we can see some data present in this file. Now the next thing that we do is we will read the data from the file. So for that, I will just copy this file opening part, and here I'm going to say read from the file and store it in the structure variable. So we will open up the file for reading mode, and we will open it up as a binary file. So data.bin, the same file to which we have written the data before. And after that, we will check whether the file has been opened properly. If it is opened properly, then what we do is we will use the fread function. So it will be fread, and the first parameter is where we want to store the read value. We want to store that in this s2 variable. So we have to specify the memory address. So we will use the ampersand operator here. And then we have to specify the size in bytes. So I will use the size of, and it will be struct student. And after that, how many elements that we want to read? One element of type structure student. And then from which place, that is from this file pointed by this file pointer fp. After that, we will close this file. So what we are doing here is we have this structure called as student, which contains these members. We have a structure variable called as s1, which contains this data. s2 structure variable right now contains the default data depending on the data type, depending on its members. And after that, what we are doing is we are writing the data of this s1 variable to the file in binary form using the fwrite function. And then we are reading that data that we have written, and we are storing that in this s2 variable. So now after that, when we print the values of this s1 and s2 structure variables, they should display the same values. So I will save this program and I will build and run this. So now you guys can see we get the same values for S1 and S2. So what it means here is we have successfully returned the data to the file and we have successfully read the data from the file. Now when you write structure variables data to the file, you have to be aware of the structure padding. If you plan to use the return data file in some other system, then you have to be aware of the structure padding. So if the system uses different number of bytes for structure padding, then reading from the file may not produce the proper results. So about that issue, you have to be aware. Now another thing that you have to be careful is about having the pointers as the structure members. For example, a pointer will contain the memory address. So when you write the structure to the file, like the way we have done here, that memory address will be returned to the file. So when you read back from that file, that memory address can contain anything. So your program can produce any other result. So you have to be careful about that. And regarding writing an array of structure to the file, it is similar to the way we have written the arrays to the file, which I have explained in the previous tutorial. I want you guys to try that. So this is it guys for this particular video. This is how we can write a structure variables value to a file using the fwrite. And this is how we can read that by using the fread in C programming language. So this is it guys for this particular video. Thank you for watching. If you like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. If you have anything to say, write that in the comment box. For more tutorials, subscribe to the channel.